Yo, what is up, guys? And today I am going to be doing one of my first videos off of Roblox. I've been wanting to make a video like this for a long time, and I couldn't quite land on a game that I truly wanted to do yet, in a way. That was also just struggling internally to see if it was worth it or not. But my friends and you guys have made me realize that I should just go for it, and I landed on a game that I've really been loving the story of, and I have been playing to death recently because of my friends. Really, they introduced me to it, and it is Limbus Company, the new Kanto 9 update. This is so far such peak story. Time I'm recording this intro right now, part 3 updates today, so I'm very excited for that. And before we continue on with the video, I obviously gotta say, massive freaking spoiler warning, bro. If you want to check this story out for yourself, play the game, because it is very, very story heavy, and it is amazing, and I highly recommend you check it out on your own. But without further ado, let's get on to the video. Okay, so starting off, I'm going to be doing a narration for most of the story parts that need to be summarized, because there is a lot of very important, crucial moments in the story, and some parts that are just better to be summarized because it's a lot of talking and stuff like that, which I recommend you check it on your own. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's going to be a different style, kind of, but it's going to be overall the same, just narrating and doing voiceover over some story parts. So to start off, we get the usual cryptic intro to a Kanto. We get a little bit of Ryoshu's backstory with what seems to be a little girl and what seems to be her in a different outfit. And then we cut to the, I forgot what it was called, the LCE, if I'm correct, doing the usual experiment stuff, and then the walls are covered in blood, and someone is trying to call out for help. Never mind. Okay. What just happened?
그렇게 불필요하게 절단하고 싶진 않았는데 이곳에는 일말의 가망조차 남지 않았다.
What a start. Then we're back in the bus, or the warp thing, I forgot what it's called, back in Honghuman. And you know, we got the sinners doing their usual banter, yapping, and then they start to mention how Virgilius and Charon aren't here, which is pretty odd. You'd think they would be here by now. After mentioning that for a little while, this happens.
자기 어떻게 된?
Oh, her arm's gone. Okay. So Saude's arm is completely torn off from the bone. Charon, Virgilius, and Saude were doing all the paperwork stuff for his incident in Kanto 6, and then while on the way back, they were obviously ambushed. And while Saude was trying to run off with Charon, her arm got ripped off, and then she lost her. And then the earlier intro to the Kanto, the LC trying to call for help, was eventually heard by the sinners and the others, and at the end we heard an unfamiliar voice from a dude, and Ryoshu visibly reacted to that. Ryoshu is oddly excited for some reason. Not even gonna question that for now. So after a bit of time of yapping, everyone else decides that it's probably in the best interest to use the backdoor technology to head directly into the research facility and see what the hell's going on over there. But a crack in the roof begins to form, and banging ensues until the moment they get inside. Uh-oh. We finally meet our first major characters in the story, barely on mission 2. And by their outfits, you could probably tell these are from the thumb. And after a bit of back and forth between the unknown assailant and the sinners, finally get into our first battle of the Kanto. Now honestly, these beginning enemies are all around this Kanto, and they are pretty easy to deal with, honestly. But after a little bit, I was able to beat it, and the next level already jumps up to a level 58. And no intro, no nothing, we just get straight into the battle, and we learn this guy's name through his title card, Lucio, the Thumb Apprentice. Okay, so don't sell. Oh no, and Heathcliff sold. Heathcliff sold. He has 8 sanity now. Heathcliff, you suck.
The one time I went on.
Oh, yep. I think I might have to restart. He has 22 sanity. Yeah, hold on. Let me retry this, but with a different team. Wait, what? What are you doing now? 4. They're all using their skill 3s, dude. Good. Nice. Alright, great. Bruh. Oh my gosh, my Vodion just saved the game. Okay, and then they're just not gonna win their clashes. You know, cool. This should kill. What do you mean it didn't kill? Okay, that's gonna be hard to clash against, but I think I got it. Bygone Daisy, go. Okay, I got this. Oh, and I can also hit a Kozon after this. Hold on.
That one right there for home.
Hell yeah.
Also, yeah.
Stagger. Nice. Good lord, I forgot how much damage Rodion does. Okay. As soon as I thought we had been done with this monkey, someone else decides to enter the fray. Oh no. That's my ticket, alright. Well, she's here now. Valentina. And now the situation has gone from bad to worse, as the woman who has been clashing with Virgilius for this whole time arrives into the bus. And if she can contend with Virgilius, then we stand absolutely zero chance. Oh, Virgilius is here. Oh crap. Oh god dang. Now that we've established a quote-unquote contact with these assailants, Virgilius apologizes for, well, whatever the hell is going on right now, and we finally get the name of Valentina's title, the Thumb Nurse Father. For a little bit, Valentina keeps going on about memories, quote-unquote, from the time she spent with Ryoshu, who she calls Ticket, and we're just gonna say that it was not the best childhood. Oh, what the frick? I don't like this backstory. This is messed up. After the flashback bugs out a little bit, Valentina's right eye just decides to spontaneously combust as blood just leaks all over her freaking body. Apparently because of a half-functioning relic. And for some reason, Valentina just lets us pass through the back door. And well, Virgilius says it's also the path we must walk. So, with no other choice, we head into the LCE research facility again and see what awaits us on the other side. And unsurprisingly, just as we enter, there is carnage everywhere. Bodies, body parts, broken containment areas, broken everything, you name it. Yeah, this place has been ravaged by whoever was here. All we could do was hope that the main gang, Hohenheim, Alyssa, and Martin, were safe. But for now, all we could do is trudge onwards. But as we do that, Mersault notices a spiral stab wound on one of the corpses, which is quite odd. And as Ryoshu picks up the weapon that was used to inflict this wound, a messed up flashback appears. It's so broken that you can't really make anything out of it, although Ryoshu provides an explanation for this. Her mind is literally hacked into shreds. But right after this exchange, we get another glimpse into her mind, and we hear the same voice that was heard through the speaker last time and in the intro. After the examination of the bodies and noticing that the containments are unlocked post-assassination, we trudge onwards. And from here on out, it's gonna be a couple of just battles, most of them are pretty easy. After a while of battling, Gregor manages to hear faint breathing in the distance. I'm not sure how he can do this, but I guess it's because he's a war veteran, so trying to find the source of the faint breathing, we come across... Oh, it's frickin' Alyssa in a pretty bad condition, to say the least. After trying to get some information from her about the attackers, whatnot, we learned some valuable information. The alarms didn't go off for some reason, even though that is protocol around here from what she has been saying. A whistle sound was heard, and then all hell broke loose, and she was trapped under a containment door, and that's pretty much what saved her. After Ryoshu saw the spiral, we got another flashback regarding the mysterious individual that we keep on hearing and that Alyssa seems to have seen or heard. And yeah, to put it simply, this weapon, not a fun one to deal with. And at the same time, right after we hear that male voice, the usual one, we get a different one. A female voice. We really can't see much in her memories because most of it is pretty fried, but we can see at least a clue to how we can unlock the spiral, or at least how to remove it. But we need to find more clues through her memories that we are trying to kind of piece together at this point. But for the time being, as we cannot do anything about Alyssa's situation, we move on and try to find more survivors. And for the next 3 levels, it's gonna be back-to-back abnormality fights, which is pretty long, but they aren't that bad. Well, besides the one at the end, pre-nerf. After that long gauntlet, we find ourselves with a door. Just a door. But after that, we hear a voice over the loudspeaker. One that you may recognize.
Closer, and be forcing our hand. Interesting. Here is lighting with secure landmines. Every sound might take a pass the minefield. And what else, man? Oh yeah, these are the rest. Taboo violation. Oh damn. Okay.
And if you couldn't guess by the other voices as well, it is Ezra, and by some miracle, Hohenheim and Martin. Plus Moses. I almost forgot Moses. That's my bad. But anyway, we tell them the news of Alyssa, how she's hurt. We also inform them of the current absence of Virgilius dealing with the Thumb Nurse Father. And we also hear how Ezra and Moses are here. After fully telling them the situation though, we finally meet another familiar face, one that we haven't seen for a while. Engdu from one of the intervalos. It's the Blade lineage one, if you guys remember that one. We go over the information we have from our side and their side, and also Ezra mentioning that they have a junior whose nickname is Hornet for now. But we don't know much about that, so... And after a bit of yapping from Ezra, which I'm just going to skip, I'm not gonna lie, Moses tells us that there was this one particular dude, probably one of the top dogs, whose fighting style was so weird and chaotic that she couldn't even analyze them. But after Ryoshu tries to make a guess at who it is, Moses says a lot of cryptic things about her. That she wants to cut something down, and she is broken into pieces, which is obvious by her memory, and that she's grasping to something very tightly. Anyway, right after that, Hohenheim and Martin gives us their side of the story real quick, where they were attacked, and, well, the same things we've been hearing about the alarm and whatnot, and, you know, all that. But we do get another recognizable name, and a recognizable book. The Book of Vengeance and Matthias, which is the middle nurse father, most likely. And Moses has deducted, by this point if it hasn't been obvious, that there are a bunch of fingers currently organizing this attack. which most of the people here find to be quite strange because the fingers are not known for their cooperation whatsoever. If you guys have played Library Arena, then you'll know. I haven't played it personally, but I've seen one of my friends play through it. Very good game. But anyway, I don't want to go off on a tangent. Ryoshu explains that they are spiders, or nurse fathers of the House of Spiders, which is what their faction is called. Not sure if I should really call it a faction, because it's just the fingers. And Moses makes a note of the nurse father term we keep hearing about. And Moses correctly gathers that it's a place meant to raise something. And Ryoshu explains that she was born there and raised to be a blade that cuts through all, in her own words. But apart from that, we know basically nothing else. So, and as this conversation follows, we realize that the main reasoning for this was timing, because it's now Ryoshu's turn, and also they're here for golden bows. That seems like the only likely explanation apart from Ryoshu as to why they're here. Then, after Hohenheim explains to us that they are trying to build a tree from the golden bows, which so far has been unsuccessful, we decide to try and make a plan on how to resolve this mess. The plan is going to be split between 3 teams. Team 1 is going to go to the golden bows, which is going to be the LCB, obviously. Dante's special ability to sense the golden bows, it'll make their lives a lot easier. The LCD will take care of suppressing and destroying the abnormalities, distortions, and whatnot. And the LCE will be in charge of restoring power to the facility, which makes sense. They're the only ones that know the ins and outs of this place. And after a bit of arguing from Hohenheim and Faust, we set on to complete our plan, and hopefully nothing goes wrong. And quite literally, right as we were setting out, walls dropped, separating all of us, and well, splitting our teams up. But after assessing what people we have on the LCB team, LCD, and LCE, respectively, we decide that, well, doesn't matter, we're gonna continue on with the plan despite, well, our teams being pretty fragmented. During my time among the old League of the Nine Literators, I once had an opportunity to engage in a few, this is where this meme comes from, and a few hits of the substance at the behest of my fellows. Okay. Meanwhile though, in the back door truck thingy, we get a conversation between the Red Gaze and Malanchina. And she's basically just yapping of like, why don't you kill her off? I mean, you can just get another bus driver, right? Yada yada yada. She's making comparisons to Ticket and Textbook, which is what she calls Lucio. And Virgilius correctly deduces that she is pretty much only here to stall Virgilius from meddling with the House of Spiders' current plans. And directly after he makes that assessment, he grabs Lucio and threatens to, well, chop his head off. But now we get to the difficult parts of this console, which is the party being split up. And this isn't even getting to the worst parts of it. But before that, Yuseng and Gregor noticed that these bodies are interestingly made with writings carved into their bodies, oddly. But before they can make any deductions, we get another flashback. This time of the ring nurse father doing some despicable things to a corpse, but honestly, this is not really surprising to me considering the nature of the ring as a whole. After a bit of backstory though, we get onto the gauntlet, which is just a bunch of murdering. After trying to summon unsuccessfully, might I add, for Faust, through a shut door, we see the LCA agents finally arrive in very large numbers. And after we confirm with Hohenheim that this is truly the backup we were waiting for, our small celebration of hope is instantly dashed away as a suited man, very similar looking to Roland, might I add, cleaves into them like as if they're nothing. And they're all dead in mere seconds. Just as he is finished doing the job, he stares into Ryoshu, and after he mutters some words to Ryoshu through the glass, we see a glimpse into who he was and the relationship he and Yoshihide, which used to be Ryoshu's name back then, was. And after this little flashback, we go to the LCD team, and well, we get a glimpse of Matthias on the TV, well, doing what a middle does, just carnage and laughing his ass off per usual. But after a while of looking at him just kill a bunch of people, we hear an unfamiliar voice in the background, one of a child, calling Matthias Papa. So this is 100% the middle apprentice. And yeah, she's probably like 12 years old. But for some reason, she's doing jack. She's just like, don't mind me, bro. I'm just here to see you guys see my dad kick ass. I'm not joking, by the way. That's literally what she says. But after that little banter, we hear Matthias's voice booming across the hallway, which means he is near, and that is not good. We move on now to the LCE team, which don't seem to be faring well either, as they come across this thing, and yeah, the ring's taste in art is peculiar, to say the least. Anyway, after Martin brings Hohenheim back from his dark thoughts, Faust says that it's time to get a move on, because they need to restore power to the facility as fast as they possibly can. Back to the LCB team. Yes, we're gonna keep jumping pretty consistently between these teams, so sorry if it's pretty messy, it's just how it's structured, so. Anyways, Yi-Sang questions Ryoshu on her connection with these nurse fathers, and with the memories she's gathered, she pieces together that they are quite literally what's in the name, the people that raised her to be the sword that she is, in her own words. But honestly, that was a really short story moment, so we just battle for a little bit. It's a pretty long one, but it's just normal enemies, so nothing too much to worry about. After a little while of wandering though, Dante finally detects the golden bows right in front of him, thankfully. But at the same time, because we are so far apart from each other, the teams can't communicate. So we are pretty much in the dark onto how anyone else is doing. So for now, we just keep trudging forward, and then we meet the next faction of the Fingers, to which this specific person, this specific finger, Ryoshu very clearly hated. And then we get into a insanely brutal flashback. I'm just gonna let it play out in the back for a little bit. A pinky, yeah, I just remember all the like star things are weapons of each of the pinkies. That you've always been the one obstacle in my life? What? What the hell? A white blade of such unfeeling purity, devoid of even a trace of mercy beneath its pale edge. In a split second, I was blinded by the glint of the blade. Yoshu clutched the hooded figure's jaw on her piercing grip, and without a moment's hesitation, she drove the blindingly bright sword into the figure's mouth. Oh! I did not have to see the visuals of that. Oh! You can tell Ryoshu really did not like this person. Somehow, that same person is standing in front of Ryoshu. Ryoshu says that she left something very, very important in the House of Spiders, and we meet the other two apprentices. One that we do not recognize, but one very clearly having the title of the Pinky Apprentice. But first, we face only Ren, but he's just dodging. Okay, so I can't let him get Moonlit Azure Blade. Oh, he's fast. Not much I can do against his dodging. Oh, come on. Please don't miss your corn heads, man. Oh, he's not letting me like flash properly. This blade of mine may not rival the original style, yet its form is impeccably mimicked. Permit me to demonstrate. Okay, Fall Star Slayer. Dominating. Oh my god. Okay. Why do you miss? Why do you sell me like this, Yi-Sang? Got him to HP levels, which is something.
Hello?
Oh, come on. Bashia's a sleepyhead? Okay. Oh god. If you somehow miss this clash, I will actually end you. Yep, we'll be good with that.
Both shields gone. Good. So far it's going well. Which is good. Oh, she's getting constant bleed because of her. Almost got the Pinky Apprentice to stagger. Very good breath. Something like this. Okay, let's hope I get lucky. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh yeah, I can get the stagger off, for sure. Yep, stagger. Oh, what? Has served its part. I shall now retreat. I guess he just frecked off. You're sufficiently thick. Not bad at all. Ooh, Yi-sang, you almost sold there, buddy. Oh, yep, here we go. Wait, no touching fascia. She's for display only. Nothing clashes, so I guess I'll just do this. Another Night's Owl, by the way. Oh wait, this is gonna stagger. Again.
But after a little while of fighting, as long as you get them to half health, they are defeated, and, well, Albina seems to try to lock in.
What? Ew.
However, because of this, Ren explicitly tells her that this is not part of the plan, but Albina just outright refuses and wants to fight, and now they disagree with each other, so,
Yet we must learn to remain tranquil before these common beasts, if we are to adhere to the wills of those who are our masters.
Forever lost.
준비해볼 수 있지 않겠어?
A maquette? I'm not sure what that is.
뜻을 헤아릴 줄도 모르는
That this glorified executioner does not know her place. Clearly, it is about time her branches are pruned. What? Oh, what the hell? Okay.
So, while letting them, well, I guess, resolve their differences apart, and after having a little bit of a staring contest with Yoshu, she just up and disappears. We try to find the golden bows, only to see that they have been snatched by the Dihui star, which means all of those golden bows are gone. How lovely. And with that, part 1 concludes. Part 2 immediately starts with a flashback between Ryoshu, back then Yoshihide, and in this scene it confirms that little girl is her daughter. And then a little bit more lore on Ryoshu's sword, and we got Mr. Explodey Head over here back from back then when Lei Heng mentioned that your baby's still at that house, in his own words. Then we get more Ryoshu story text, similar to Hong Lu's in Kanto 8. And we are back to, well, the aftermath of what happened in part 1. We lost the golden bows. Very annoying. And we asked Ryoshu if she's fine. Probably not. We are back in front of the Pinky and Ring apprentices. And Ren explains that they are their children. Biological or not, it's not really explained, so we're just gonna assume that it's probably all entirely adoptive. But anyway, their main goal is basically to try to reattach the threads that were slashed to pieces, but that'll probably be explained later on. So the easiest way to remember the children is basically just a way to make sure Ryoshu remembers the time she spent with each of the 5 fingers. And then we finally get a flashback to the Dihui star, and we get a lot more insight onto what kind of parents they were to Ryoshu. I'm gonna put it lightly, she was not the greatest parent.
She does not deserve this. Okay. Oh, that's messed up. Come on. That's such a slow dullard. Man, this childhood sucks. This is even worse than the others so far. It's emotional.
Yeah, she just was not having a great time whenever she was with her. But anyway, Ren just keeps yapping about that it was only thanks to her that she is as strong as she is, which I guess is not entirely wrong, so. But anyway, as they are still battling, cause, well, they haven't stopped freaking solving their feud, Gregor is just like, yo, this is a great time to get out. So we just follow his idea and dip as fast as we can. And Ryoshu, thanks to clashing with Ren, rediscovered the sword technique that was taught by the Dihui Star, and we also get information that they basically wanted every single one of the Nurse Fathers to teach Ryoshu so she can inherit every single one of their techniques. And then Yi Sang asks if she slashed away at her own memories by her own fault, and well, she just outright confirms yes. Whenever she uses the sword, that's what's causing her to cut into her mind piece by piece and forgetting memories entirely. And it's the main reason why throughout this whole adventure, she has never used the blade, not even once. But during the moment of the Dihui Star Pung incident, she said she had to, or else it would have taken her away for good. The daughter, 100%. And apparently, she's hiding in a safe somewhere in the House of Spiders. Somewhere only she knows and she can only open. And after she and Dante have a bit of a talk, they continue on to the Golden Bow search, and we get to the, well, fights, which is just a bunch of fodder, Pekatula, so we're just gonna skip over these. Come on, baby, give me a look, give me a look, give me a look. Oh, wait. Please, don't send me a game. This is 3-star.
Nope.
You're kidding. 3-star Ishmael. Yeah. With that abysmal luck out of the way, we continue down the corridors and eventually find 2 survivors just under rubble. One that looks suspiciously like the Don Quixote ID. You can probably guess where this is going. And another just random researcher that is beside her that was talking with her. We get them out of the rubble and we get their names. We got Sora and Ravi. And hilariously, these are new hires, which means day 1, and this already happened, this is probably the worst first day for any job ever. After a bit of yapping about how they got stuck in the debris, they decide to accompany us because Sora suspiciously knows where the elevator is despite being a new hire, but we decide to follow her anyway because, I mean, she's pretty much the only guide we have at this point. We get a couple more Pekatula fights, nothing special. And then we are back at the LCE research team, which they're currently trying to repair the generators and are also noticing that the transmissions are just not working anymore. So Heathcliff mentions that something seems up, and he is damn right. What appears to be the ring Nurse Father is outside the door, and Hohenheim mocks the sinners for not having the confidence they did while beating the crap out of him, which, my answer, you were a distortion. This motherfucker's stronger than you could ever be, bro. So, yeah, that's my answer. Faust basically says that if they engage him without Dante, they are pretty much cooked. They can't use identities, they can't use Jack, so it's just like, it's over if they even try to engage. I found this part kind of funny though. For some reason, I think ever since Don Quixote trolled Sinclair in the last intervalo, she's just eternally trolling him, and Sinclair's just not having it. But after reviewing our possible options, including taking the shoes off of Don Quixote, the party decides that it's better to just try to distract them as long as they can while Hohenheim repairs the thing. We just pray for the best and hope that they're able to distract them in time as we head to the next party, which is the LCD department, which are currently trying their best to run from Kira. They managed to hide from her. I don't know how, because she's apparently super fast. And also run from Matthias, I think by way of distraction. The strat is for them to buy time while the pipe, which is apparently Moses' ego gear, gains power. But it's probably not ideal right now because they're starting to run out of time. As they keep trying to make a plan and trying to reach the other teams, Kira just amps up completely and just skips the countdown timer. And then we go back to a few hours ago to how they were actually able to avoid Matthias by making a cop distort somehow. And Moses barely escaped off the skin of her teeth by the help of Engdu. But anyway, after that short flashback, we go back to the current situation, which is less than favorable. They decided they're gonna release one pretty damn powerful abnormality from what I remember in the mirror dungeons, the Drenched Pump. Back to the LCP team though, Sora is still guiding the current party to the elevators, and then we run into the next batch of abnormalities. Disregarding that though, there was just another fight, which was a nothing fight, so after taking care of all those enemies, Yiseng expresses his worry about Miss Alyssa's current condition, and Sora somehow knows of its nature. Knowing somehow exactly how it works and the fact that it needs a password, which is strange to say the least, considering that only knowledge we know right now is that only the House of Spiders possesses this tech. The team obviously deducts that something is up, so Gregor tries to distract her for a little bit, talking about workshop gears, while Yiseng drags Dante and Ravi aside. And while Dante and Ravi are quite confused as to why Yiseng is doing this, Yiseng doesn't elaborate as to not alert Sora that they suspect something is up. Sora says she actually got scouted and was previously in his fixer office, which then Yiseng mentions that all 12 of the sinners were also scouted, all for their own reasons and for their own backgrounds. Then we go directly into Ryoshu's contract backstory of how Faust found her outside of the House of Spiders, presumably, considering she is covered in blood and in the same black outfit she used to have. Faust has the usual knowledge about Ryoshu's current wishes and promises to, well, make her wishes come true. After that, we are back to the present, and Ryoshu talks a bit more about the safe that she hid her daughter in, and that's about it for that. Now after this, it's another abnormality. This time it's the Ardor Blossom Moth. This thing was super freaking annoying.
No, Gregor. Gregor, no. Gregor, no. No. God dang it, bro. If the Hopeless somehow wins.
Nope.
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 Oh, come on, bro. Yep, that's 2 staggers. How the frick did my Gregor not get staggered? Are you serious? Bro, 5% of depression. Really, Ryoshu? Are we actually serious? But oh yeah, no, it's the body. A few. Thank Christ. Go ahead and die for me, freaking thing.
After this, it's the same thing, another regular enemy fight, so time to head on to the next big freaking story part. After all that, Dante finally detects the golden bows again, and of course, the Dihui star has it in her hands. Thankfully, Hohenheim manages to fix the power, which means we can communicate with each other again, and well, put simply, we say that the situation is not favorable for the golden bows. And considering that she's also a nurse father, there is absolutely zero chance we can live this. After suggesting that Sora could possibly try to fight the nurse father, she begins crashing out and then
Losing it. Oh! What?
reveals herself to be a traitor, killing Ravi in front of her eyes. Thankfully, the others caught on to this backstabbing and pushed Dante out of the way, but sadly, they couldn't do much about Ravi's current state, so rest in peace, Ravi. And unsurprisingly, it is the indexed apprentice who Sora actually is. And she also name drops Mr. Rian, which is probably the nurse father in the suit that we've been seeing for a little while. She seems to feel some guilt and regret over that and wishes she could have actually enjoyed ice cream and escaped, but we have no choice but to fight her.
I can form 100%. The hell? I was told the family should help each other. I can't clash with shades! Pretty good start so far. No, Ryoshu. Ryoshu! Yep, I'm restarting that. No. You stalled so badly. Hold on, Gregor's cooking. Finally. Unbreakable coins. We got to this stage already?
After a bit of back and forth clashing,
What? Oh, it's this form. Bruh.
She decides to manifest her ego, which means this fight is gonna get a whole lot more annoying.
생각했어요.
Big sis. And let me stay. Damn.
그러니까
No, if you're gonna kill me, I can't do that. Okay, yeah, she's really strong. And my freaking unit. Yo, you're joking. I'm doing it.
Nope.
Not even that is gonna do anything because it has the freaking pre-script bullcrap. I'm restarting, bro. Like, hit your clashes, you useless unit. This is so annoying. This is actually so annoying.
After about a solid, like, 30 minutes, maybe an hour of fighting her, I finally am able to beat the stage, but it seems that it was not enough.
언젠가 만나게
Oh, crap.
된다면 보다 정중하게 인사를 드리고 싶었어.
Oh, who is this? You ever meet? First impressions matter a great deal after all. What? Damn, who is this?
A new character decides to introduce himself in a interesting fashion. After absolutely demolishing Sora's body in one attack, by the way, this dude, which is absolutely buff out of his mind, just decides to walk in and save our asses. Thank God. And this man introduces himself as Vespa Crabbro of the LCD department, which is the guy that Ezra mentioned earlier being the quote-unquote junior. And while his actual goal is to go help out the LCD, he decides to provide us a little backup before he runs over there.
God dang, what? The prescript points towards you. But most of it is dominating? I still can't do anything without egos, so I gotta block, like, I got no choice. Oh, damn. Damn! Whoa! God dang, he's fast. There's really not much I can do in the situation, so it's gonna be gone with this one. Whoa, what is that damage? Yeah, well, 120 something damage. What am I supposed to do? This is probably gonna kill them, so I'm just gonna attack. Harpoon recall. Oh my. Oh yeah, GG's. What?
After Vespa absolutely demolishes Sora, we get another flashback to Ryoshu, and this time with Rian, which is now confirmed to be the Index Nurse Father, with his title being fully there. But after a back and forth between Sora and Ryoshu, and looking at the Pinky Nurse Father and trying to figure out what to do, Vespa dips to go save the LCD. But because there is absolutely zero chance we can try to face the Pinky Nurse Father without at least the 12 Sinners or backup coming to save us, Dante tries to call all the sinners towards his current location.
Stand with me here. What the frick?
He was not ready for this ability yet, and if you guys remember what happened back in the Blade Lineage Kanto, his head goes absolutely nuts. But one thing he mentioned is of utmost importance.
In the new millennial... Wait, what? In the new millennial kingdom shall the 13 stand by my side?
And with that, we get a new Golden Bow resonance, albeit very broken. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But before we can actually get to that properly, we go back to the current situation of the LCD team. And well, they're trying to keep Kira back as much as they can with the help of abnormalities, but she's just tearing through them as if they're playthings at this point. They finally get the Drenched Gossy Pump out, and it definitely does at least some good damage against Kira. To slow her down enough, but sadly, even though everything seems to be going a lot better,
어이쿠. 거기에 옹기종기 깜찍하게들 숨어 있었군.
Oh, come on. Cooped like a bunch of chickens, you say.
조립하는 거 안 봤니?
Oh my god.
다 죽여요.
Oh no. Did he just tear through it all with one slash?
전부
Of course, Matthias shows up and ruins everything. Sadly, right as all of them, including the sinners, attempt to at least hold off Matthias for a little bit, because of Dante's attempt at activating his nobility, and because it was so broken, all the sinners besides the ones that are currently beside him fall unconscious. All they can do at the moment is pretty much just try and stall him with abnormalities, which is what they try to do with the clamshell.
Oh, it's this thing. God dang. Yo, this cutscene is dope.
Yeah, safe to say that thing did nothing. We got Talk No Jutsu. Somehow Moses knows about this dude's favorite toy collection, which gives them enough time to try to get a sneak attack on this guy.
Oh, the arm is completely gone.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave you guys with this screen, and that's all you need to know. After a bit more stalling though, and all of them pretty much being on the brink of death.
What is going on? Another cutscene, hold on. Hey, nice. Oh my gosh.
The goat's Vespa comes in and saves the day. And with his arrival, we finally get the reveal that this dude is the new yellow color fixer. But after that bombshell of a frickin' reveal, we go back to the current situation of the LCE team, which is not doing any better because they are currently trying to deal with the ring nurse father. But just like it happened with the LCD team, the sinners at the LCE team also proceed to pass out. Them being the current things that were distracting the ring nurse father means that this situation is as dire as it could be. Hohenheim decides to come up with the plan that he will try sacrificing himself, but Martin decides that there's a better plan.
120%까지 올린다면
But that also means that it will explode, killing him inside of it. After making sure the LCB keeps their word to save Alyssa, he goes on to distract the ring nurse father.
Oh, what the hell?
그런 최후에 너무 억울해하지 마세요.
Is that the Fair Lantern thing going crazy?
빛? 세상에.
For who in the world will be so blind as to see such brilliance as a mere spall?
그렇네요. 아름다운 청색빛이에요.
What?
After that depressing ass section, back to the current situation with the Dihui Star, which means we finally get to see that we can actually use all 12 sinners in this fight thanks to Dante's premature awakening of an ability is the best way to describe it. But only the ones that were with him are actually fully conscious in themselves, and the other ones are basically kind of just apparitions, you could say, that still have their full strength, but they have no consciousness for themselves. But with this knowledge, we now face the Pinky Nurse Father, Shiyomi Iyoru.
Alright then. Is this an actual power that's activated? No, it's like completely shattered. Though somewhat unstable, the manager can remotely command and communicate with every sinner. Yeah, and you can't clash against the crap. Ah, yeah! Very nice. Okay. Are they getting debuffed the more I clash with them? Oh yeah, that's right. If I win a clash, they're getting power down. I forgot about that. And they have like 6 power down, so that reduces their coin clash ability by like 6. Whoa, 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 whoa. Phantom Step? Oh my god, Twin Slash is hitting for a stupid amount again.
10 battle build instinct, that's good. Rend space. Uh-oh. Oh, no. No. Okay, wait, Ego? Okay, let's see it.
Past your bedtime.
Ooh. Okay. Oh, come on, Yuseng. Thankful though, after legitimately first trying this, I actually didn't just like retry a bunch of times. Yeah, she just says that did nothing to her. Okay, wait. Huh? Okay.
Show me your motivation.
Judgment cut. Oh, okay.
차라리 내가 직원들을
Yeah,
지휘해야 했어.
okay. As Dante pretty much says that, well, because the identities were incomplete, they stood no chance. After getting absolutely brutalized, Ryoshu just tries to find out how the frick she's alive because she is sure she was killed by her in the House of Spiders. With this one-sided seeming conversation, the Pinky Nurse father finally starts speaking and starts mentioning a bunch of stuff about how pretty much messed up Ryoshu's memory is right now. And then we get another flashback to Ryoshu and her daughter. But after that, we got another flashback of the very, very sad abuse that Ryoshu took back when she was still a child. It is very, very sad to see, but after that, Ryoshu's eyes start glowing a very bright red, which is not a good sign. But after a bunch of threats, the Pinky Nurse father reveals that they knew where her daughter was, which means that something happened. After trying to fight against the Pinky Nurse father, she just up and leaves. The door shuts, and with that, all the other nurse fathers begin living one by one. Beginning with Valentina and Virgilius' situation, Matthias asking for a duel at the House of Spiders once it's time, and the ring nurse father dipping after seeing Martin's exploded remains. And finally ending with Rien and Ryoshu meeting up again. And because of Sora liking them all as a people even though she just tried to kill us, telling Rien to give us the code to the Xenon Spiral, which thankfully helps us save Alyssa's life, but Ryoshu's not happy with letting it end like this. And by that moment, he was gone. This dude dropped the exact safe Ryoshu hid her daughter in. Based on how fast she ran to it, something was up. As her hand opened up the door, turn was empty. Nothing was left inside, apart from a strand from the world. Strength seemed to drain out of Ryoshu's hand as the fingers that tightly gripped around the door's handle fell limp, as though the sheer weight of the emptiness spread from the tip of her fingers into every part of her body. Ah, come on. And we get a flashback of how she named her daughter, and how she got her name Ryoshu instead of her actual name, which is Yoshihide. And that was thanks to her daughter. How do you write your name, mommy? Go on. Read it. Ryoshu. And that's where she got her name. That's where she got her name.
요시드라고 읽는 거다.
요슈! 이게 더 편하고 이쁘잖아.
Oh, come on. Don't hit me with this, bruh. Come on. After that sweet flashback, we come back to the present. Thankfully, thanks to Martin's sacrifice in Hohenheim, the LCE research facility is back up and running. The pilot and Saude are out of commission. Ryoshu starts to wake up, but Virgilius clearly states that, well, while he can heal physical wounds, the wounds on the mind are impossible to heal. And with that, each of the teams get ready to enter to battle. The LCA Ujet Vanguard team is finally here, and this time we actually get to see the captain which has a pretty kick-ass design, I won't lie. The design for her is really cool. And Saude mentions the backdoor connection is established, which means this is going to be an all-out war against the House of Spiders. Saude is somehow back up and running even though her arm's clean off, and even the LCE is getting ready for battle, and Alyssa is also back up, with Owenheim sporting some sweet new ego gear, and Alyssa also getting ready for battle herself, even though she just had a freaking spiral in her chest earlier. The LCD also is getting ready for the battle, and even Bamboo-Hatted Kim is entering this battle, which is absolutely crazy, bro. And with that, the countdown begins. All of our plans are set. Each team is ready to enter the House of Spiders, the LCA, LCB, LCD, and LCE. And as everyone is ready to enter, we get one final flashback of Araya still waiting inside that very safe that was empty. And with this commences Operation Spider Pyre. So, right now, Sinclair and the LCE research team members are, well, evidenced by the background in the rings part of the House of Spiders, which, I'll just say the sculptures are interesting. But before we can actually get to more details on what they're supposed to do here, we go back to a couple hours prior where they were pretty much talking about Dante's new ability and how it works and how he's been training it and how he can manually look over at all the individual Sinners teams to, well, use their identities, strengthen them and all that, which is pretty impressive. We go back to the current situation, and Sinclair is pretty damn nervous, and after having a group therapy session for a little bit trying to support Sinclair, we finally come face to face with the ring apprentice Albina. She starts saying a bunch of crazy ass crap about like a freaking shattered child of some sort of that was supposedly gonna be a big sister for Fascia, the sword, and how glad she is to see them and try to meet quote unquote new friends, and how she started mutilating herself after she mentions that talking with Sora helped her understand that, you know, trying to become friends is about sharing, you know, things you love, hobbies and stuff. She wants to quote unquote make friends with the gang, and that means feeding them to the sword. And with that, we enter the first battle, and honestly, the Ring Apprentice is pretty weak. We're already off to a great start, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, come on, Faust, and you sold. Oh, that blade account is so annoying. Oh, Alyssa's with us. Oh, that's sick! Yo, Martin is up. Martin, am I stupid? Am I stupid? Hohenheim. I didn't notice them at first because I was locked in on the enemies. Whoa, what is that? Oh wait, is that from Hohenheim? It is. Okay, so yeah, I just can't clash against it. Well, good luck, Hohenheim. You got that. Okay, whoa! Oh, that is so sick. Okay. Okay, hold on. What? I might have just saved Hohenheim from certain death, unless this is supposed to happen. Ooh, skill 3. Damn. Oh, cutscene. Phase 2, here we go. Ew. But like 3 turns in, we immediately get into the next part of the fight, which she unarmors herself completely, and Callisto arrives, the nurse father, which this is a bad situation. And also how they think of his gallery. Yes, this is a gallery, by the way. And after Alyssa expresses a lot of well, disgust at his creations, This dude just straight up arrives to the fight, with also Albina in her second phase state, which this is where the fight gets pretty damn difficult, and this is the first fight it's hard. It gets pretty hard.
You're trolling. This is gonna not be fun. Oh yeah, you're definitely getting staggered. I'm sorry. Ishmael, you missed one coin and it ruined the whole thing. I don't like you.
힘으로 밀어내야 합니다.
Yeah, bro. Really. I actually just can't even clash it against anything now because they're on the same speed. Awesome. And yep, he loses. Hello.
절차대로 부상자에게 K사 앰프를 투여하여.
What am I supposed to do here, dude? What do you want me to do, bro?
피할 수 있는
Bro's
범위가 안 돼요.
dead. GG's, it's wraps. Sinclair's stuck. Awesome.
당신
Yeah, well, Ishmael's dead. Yeah, I just died. Another Cape Cork ampule use. At least I'm not dead. But man, Ishmael, you suck. Yes. I'll take that. It also applies a crap ton of sinking, so. Come on, Sinclair, you bummy son of a gun. You're stagger plus again. You actual bastard. Okay, you know what? It doesn't even matter. You're gonna get staggered anyway. Whatever. We're just gonna go for a full assassination kill here. Just kill. Just like, actually just kill. And as long as you have a low enough sanity, we'll be fine. Yep. Good. Of the good view of how the lives I'm gonna save. So we're still gonna take a bunch of damage, but... And I still have to fight. How long will this guy fight me for? I don't know, and Sinclair is at low sanity because this bum lost all of his clashes. Oh wait, he went past the stagger bar. Might be a good sign. Finally. What? Closing time? Win rate? Oh, what the hell? What? Oh, they're all staggered. Oh, and now you're doing this. Cool.
Nope.
Wait, I can't even. I can't even. No. No. No, Alyssa. No, please. No. No, don't do it. Oh my. Please tell me she's okay.
Yeah, so Alyssa might have suicide bombed. Let's just hope she's alive. We are now at where currently the LCD team members and the other sinners are. Let's just say Don Quixote is very, very happy to be in the presence of a color fixer. After a bit of, well, usual Don Quixote excitement, we make it to what looks like a damn supermarket shelving unit with a bunch of decorative figurines of, if you remember, that was mentioned by Moses in part 2. And this obviously means we are currently in Middle Territory. And after hearing an ominous song, which Don Quixote immediately recognizes because it's from a fixer, we finally meet up once again with Kira, this purple little devil. And obviously next to her has gotta be Matthias, which means we are already going to be facing the other apprentice and nurse father of the fingers. But once again, we go back to a couple hours prior to how they actually got these teams set up to enter each part of the House of Spiders, because apparently it's kind of random where they each pop up. So after a bit of nerdy talk between Matthias and Kira, Don Quixote also joins in, but for other reasons. While Don Quixote truly believes in the heroism and actual, heroic part of Fixers, Kira just cares about the badass moves and the badass nature of the Fixers themselves rather than, well, the heroism they display. While Don Quixote and Kira are having that back and forth, Ezra notices that the sword Matthias uses is a relic, which we've been hearing a couple times throughout this kanto. I'm not sure what they exactly are, I just know they're super rare and super powerful. Honglu notices there is just junk food everywhere. Obviously evidences that he's the type to spoil their child like crazy. And that's how his love works. As we enter Yoshihide's past with Matthias, which, well, just reinforces this idea. Buying whatever she wants, you know, obeying her every command and whatnot. And after that backstory is over, Matthias rambles on about family and sacrifice and whatnot. And then we get another great example of, well, just how much of a good person this guy is. But after Don Quixote and the Yellow Fixer are tired of this guy's bullshit and just want to enter the battle, Moses finally obliges and we get to the next finger fight. Odd term, but honestly, I'm just gonna keep it in because why not? Let's do this. This is gonna be like Ricardo, so this is gonna be very unfun. Go my high show packs.
Nope.
They're all losing already. We just got started. Thank you. Okay, so she goes first every single time. Counter style. Don Quixote. Oh my gosh, I was about to crash out. Nice. Yep, that was gonna happen either way, so just block. Nice. Alright, starting off on a good note here. Oh, and he has an aura. Grudge. No. Whoa. Okay, that's cool. Wait, what? When is she using? Oh, she can do that on command? Oh my, what is that damage? She never did this with the normal ego, huh? Oh, that is cool. Nice. Oh my gosh, Ezra, you are the GOAT. Almost to the stagger. Come on. Does Don have a guard? No, just a counter. Well, Isang, do me a favor, please. This might actually stagger. Oh, it did. Sweet. Hell yeah. The high show team is the GOAT. Oh, I couldn't even. Oh, she just dipped. Violet Pulse? Yuria Atelier. Okay, so she can just clash. So I'm just gonna provide all the support I can and also save my skills because I need better skills. Oh, he's also using his ultimate. Damn. Hell yeah, Ezra. Damn, she does damage. Nice. Oh, he's using his ego too? Defer I shall, this glimpse of an opportunity. Oh, that is dope. After beating the crap out of Kira and just kind of unopposed attacking the frick out of Matthias while the others did the work, the battle just kind of ended. Nice. Okay. And then we cut finally to where the LCB is along with the Ujat team members. And thankfully Dante picks up the presence of the Golden Bows early, so they already know the direction to go to. But the first thing they're greeted with as they enter this room is the Index Nurse Father, Rian, which he was, well, very creepily smiling about the whole thing. And the reason he has this mask on is because apparently half of his face is burnt off because of Ryoshu. Ryoshu just straight up asks, "Where the frick is my daughter?" And Rian reveals as well that he also knew about the safe. Somehow, we don't know why yet, He also says that the reason that vault was so special wasn't because of the vault necessarily. It was because of Ryoshu's innate ability to activate it. So she deduces that, well, the Dihui star was the one who activated the vault. But Rien provides a very odd answer for that, being almost sort of dismissive in a way. And as Ryoshu keeps asking, gets straight to the point, and he just keeps yapping about like freaking books and stuff, we get a flashback as to what books he's talking about. Him and Ryoshu read, well, picture books constantly, but for some reason, he always left the ending for last and said we would continue it until later. And that happened for like 90% of all the books they read together. But then, per usual, he just stops at the ending and says, we'll finish this another time, again. But back to back, we get the moment where Ryoshu escaped the House of Spiders. And, well, how Rien got half of his face covered up by that mask. And...
그 애는 어디에 숨기고 왔어? 너희의 손이 절대 닿을 수 없는 곳.
He's still smiling.
너 끝까지 끊어지지 않을 만큼.
She did say that, I think. Oh!
즐기거든.
Oh my...
여전히 담배는 끊지 못했구나.
Damn. He straight up just says, go on ahead and find Pinky Nurse Father, and there will be the quote-unquote right path that he wants her to walk. And thankfully, the LCA Ujat team will try to take care of Rien as we go and chase the Pinky Dihui Star. He mentions the details he remembers of Araya's description. Her height, her smile, and a rando saru bag that she used to carry around with her. After that, they head on to meet the Pinky. But Ryoshu strangely walks up to a drawer and mentions that there used to be a school bag here, which for sure belonged to her daughter back then. And with that mentioned, we hop into another memory of Araya and Ryoshu together eating watermelon, and this is where one of the funniest parts of the kanto happens. This watermelon's the goat! Hell yeah, Araya, it's the goat! Nuh-uh. Yeah. What am I reading? Greatest of all time. What? You mean IMO? Oh my god. Okay. Seriously, SMH. Nodding my head. Ryoshu has honestly a pretty sad moment where she says, could you repeat that one more time? And we finally meet up with the Pinky apprentice again. And as per usual with the Pinky faction, he says a lot of cryptic things, but thankfully they aren't that hard to understand. But with this, he gives us a choice, whether saving the child or getting the golden bows, if we could choose. And then we get a pretty important flashback of Ryoshu and her mother back then, and how she inherited her smoking from her. And then we get to the moment of her birth, which is honestly really cool, and also explaining her innate ability to sense time. Obviously though, based on what we know from each of the nurse fathers, Valentina is, well, a dick per usual. The ring is demented per usual. Matthias is, well, he's normal-ish, I guess. And after a bit of banter, they decide the name of her is going to be Yoshihide. After a bit more quote-unquote family bonding in this moment, we get to the point as to why the Pinky Nurse Father held so much hatred and resentment for Ryoshu. She was basically stuck here, taking care of her, even though, as we know from GX2, that most of them, their desire is to be free and explore the world. So They collectively agree that it is now time to teach her each of their separate techniques one by one. And with this, the Dihui Star only makes one request to Ryoshu, and that is to not become like her. But then we cut right to, well, the smoking habit that grew on Ryoshu, which came directly from her, which was not a good sign for her. And also, she got her eyes through augmentations. They aren't even like proper red eyes, they're just augmented battle lenses. We are finally back to the present. Obviously, we aren't going to give up any of them. Ryoshu wants, obviously, her daughter back, and we need the golden bows as well, because God knows what these guys would do with them if we let them have it. So, Ryoshu tries threatening Ren and attempts to make a deal to speak with her to give her both of the items. If it doesn't end well, with this threatening, the Dihui Star finally appears and explains that while everything else can be severed to pieces, flesh can be severed pretty easily, the connection will not. And after that is mentioned, we get a clear depiction of the thread that connects the both of them together, which is a pretty sick visual, I won't lie. And she basically just pleads with her to sever that thread and just be free of the House of Spiders forever, and to let her be free from this curse that is the House of Spiders. After she asks Ren about our answer, which was basically none, she outright confirms that Ryoshu is here for the sake of revenge, to save her daughter and to destroy this house. After a back and forth of parent and child love, I guess we'll put it that way. Basically, she says that the echoes of the word mother just bring misery to the both of them, essentially. And then we get a flashback to how she met Araya in the first place, Ryoshu. She was sent for a mission to destroy a lab of some sort, and a girl just walked up to her, just tugged at her legs and called her mom for some reason. And after leaving, because Araya confirmed that Brian came here and, well, kind of assassinated everything in the first place, Araya chases after her, because she really does believe Ryoshu is her mother. And the reason is shown in a picture that she sees multiple times, because on the back of said picture, this Araya is really just a project for mass production commissioned by the Thumb to probably mass produce a bunch of Ryoshus that have the same time sensitivity that she herself has. After that, we go to what is presumably the Thumb's part of the House of Spiders, and after a bit of banter with Valentina, she does notice that the child is inside of her bag. In her own unique way, says that she can keep it, and also mentions another name, one that was close to Ryoshu. With this, we establish how Ryoshu and Araya's bond kept growing, and how much they truly started to care for each other. After that nice little backstory though, we get back to the present, and the Dihui Star mentions that the first time she met that girl and started bonding with her, so the first steps to why she got out of the House of Spiders, so she could be free. And Ryoshu also figures out that the reason they let her keep her was because she was basically meant to be a fetter, something to keep her forever tied to the House of Spiders. After that is mentioned though, we once again go back to another flashback with the Dihui Star reaction to Ryoshu taking in a child as her own, and her disdain for it. And Ryoshu claps back, saying that the reason she was here was to just be a machine made to kill whoever they wanted to kill, nothing more. As the Dihui Star, well, rightly deduces, it worked. I mean, she's back here in the first place, and apparently the Dihui Star started the whole mess. Which brings us to the day where it all started. She will go on an extermination mission, Ryoshu. Every nurse father will call a consensus to allow her to use the sword and do the mission she needs to. And what really set off the whole thing was after Ryoshu asking why she's telling her this, she just straight up says, "I'm tired of seeing you." And then we cut right to the moment where the tongue slash happens. But this time, we actually get to hear what each party was saying during this incident. With the Dihui Star saying the sound of the feather at her feet will never stop, and also how painful it is to try and tear herself apart from this house, but being unable to, as she is always stuck here. Right after she finishes that monologue, we get to what she was, well, trying to say with her tongue slashed out. You cannot be free until every piece of your past is essentially torn to shreds because of the thread that connects her and her daughter. And after repeating what has already been said again and again, and her reasoning as to why she tore herself apart and left the house of spiders, she eggs her on again, and we finally get on to the Dihui Star boss fight. Alright, let's get to it. Well, this ain't gonna be good. Yep. Awesome start! I think I already have to restart. Wait, she's not doing any damage. Oh, frick. Wait. What is that damage, dude? Able to clash with the enemy's specific slot. How do you expect me to do anything here? Like, stagger. Wow. There go most of my units. What's the point, bro? I can't win this. Okay, something, I guess. It ain't all bad. And I disconnected my monitor. Hold on. Why not? Honestly, you're probably not gonna win anything. Yeah, you should just. There you go. That's something. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not even sure how I'm alive. And as per usual, she sold. There goes up. That's your fault, Otis. That's your fault. There you go. Okay. Strategic clear. I should just keep getting as many kills as I can. Doesn't matter. Back to the negatives. That's good. This might hurt Mercil a little bit because it does a lot of damage. Let me check his HP. Oh, never mind. It does against one person. Never mind. Back to 0 shield, which means stagger. Alright, 300 left. Let's get another stagger in. The amount of buffs and debuffs my team has is hilarious. Affection and resentment, which means you can probably crack the shield open again, which means I won't waste my moves. This will break the shield anyway. Bingo. So my plan was right. Oh, this is new. Nah, it won't. But it will prevent us from getting absolutely cooked. This might hurt. Kaboom. Jesus. Guess yeah, my Mercil's just dead. Not exactly ideal. What are you still yapping about? You're dead. Oh, what? Flying by fire. Ooh. Nice. Okay, thank you, Otis. Down to HP though. Even though my Mercil's dead, I couldn't do anything about that. Why are you still yapping? You're dead as hell. Oh, it still takes a lot of damage. Oh, come on. Just against her, which means it's not that bad, but still, they gain a lot more flash power. This is such a difficult fight, dude. Like, what am I supposed to do here? Okay. That can do something. Oh my lord. It actually went. Wow. I'm gonna keep my thing on the settings just in case. Okay. By some miracle, we're still here. After a couple of tries and sacrificing a mersault along the way, I finally managed to get the boss done though. Oh my lord, I barely made it to the skin of my teeth with the Morositas, bro. Oh my. After a bit of clashing between the Dihui Star and Ryoshu, the Dihui Star explains that she suddenly just has random flashes where she loses everything that makes her herself, her senses, and everything. And after talking about how she knows Arya doesn't like tight spaces and the darkness and hiding, the moment she was talking about mere moments earlier happens, and she loses her senses for just a moment, but Ryoshu seizes this opportunity and is taken over her. What? Whoa. Whoa, what just happened? And with this stabbing, we finally can see the face of the Dihui Star. And I see a face that much resembles Ryoshu's, only wrinkled and older. Because through a haze. And with that, we leave the LCB and check on how the LCA team is doing, which consists of Virgilius and the other 3 sinners that are with him. The gang notices that Valentina is incredibly drunk and doesn't seem to be that much in the mood of fighting. Honestly, this whole section is just Virgilius rage baiting Valentina and Valentina high-key falling for it. And then she goes on a tangent of back in my day about like how strong she was back in the smoke war and yada yada yada. Who the frick cares? And then we finally get Lucio back in purely just so he can get her a drink right now. And yeah, he's pretty messed up, evidently. By Valentina, obviously. I mean, she did the same with Ryoshu. There's no telling how many more people she would do this to if she could. And basically the only thing she's hoping for right now is getting reinstated back into the thumb, which honestly at this point seems highly unlikely. But honestly, she doesn't really freaking care about what she's building here. All she wants to do is get back to the position she used to be. And after a bit of insulting, we see how much of an abusive person Valentina was towards Yoshihide, where she was just crying in a corner. And well, because of the abusive nature, Ryoshu, out of need to please her, says, "I'll be your golden ticket," and not some shitty scrap paper, which is honestly super sad to see. And Heathcliff tries to talk some sense into Lucio, but evidently that shit doesn't work because, I mean, at this point, she's got him wrapped around her finger, so... With that said, we finally get to the fight. Great time. Oh god. Damn! Oh, they're fighting in the back. That is so cool! That is so awesome, bro. Oh my... Oh, great. We're already starting off with some bullshit. Oh, hell yeah. The freaking Roja already is clutching right now. Nice. They're not debuff. I think it might be a buff. I need to see that. Max, stack 20. The Thumb of Princess Lucio gains skill power and deals more damage with every clash with this unit. Oh, okay. Oh. Alright, next phase. Both of them with Virgilius. Damn! Oh! Why are you over there, Heath? Yeah, Valentina and Virgilius enter the fight, and Valentina's clash power is absolutely insane. And I made a pretty big mistake on my part in this part of the fight, in my opinion, because I should have been targeting Lucio and dealing with him, because Virgilius's unique passive in this Kanto is if you clash against a skill that he's clashing against, he will go for a different move entirely, so I should have been doing that so he could clash against Valentina, but my dumbass just wasn't smart enough for that, and I didn't know. And because of that very, very stupid mistake, I was struggling a lot.
And you did really? Oh man, what a 5%. Why are you just targeting the child, bro? But of course you sell with high sanity too every freaking time, bro. Yeah, just kill the apprentice, please. Just kill this monkey. Bro, like what is that? Dude, what is... So, what exactly do you want me to do against this? What an awesome start. To corrode 100%. Oh yeah, that's right, because he's Baroja. Oh, you are not dodging the precognition, bro. Oh my lord. Yeah, there's nothing much I can do against that bug guard, bro. Okay, honestly, guarding actually helps. But then everything else is just going for him, bro. Bro. Alright, let us retry because this is already going terribly. What is this bullcrap? Able to win with this. Thank you so much, Gugger. You just missed all your coins. You're an actual bum. You're an actual. There I go. Like boom, there goes Roja. Who designed this? Finally. There he goes. What? Okay, wait, does he have the same thing as Ryoshu? Heathcliff was just invincible? If it means Heathcliff can be oh wait, no, that's right. The passive. I forgot, he can just be immortal for at least one life. Come on, the eyeball passive is almost done. Oh, she's actually getting hit now. Yes! Yes! I think she's in overheat now. Yes! I can take one Colpi di Punta. Yeah, I can. Honestly, Heathcliff, give it your best shot, man. Finally, after essentially brute forcing it for a little bit, I got Valentina low enough to where I could finally defeat her. And I'm just going to let this cutscene play out because this is where things get dicey. God. It might have also been my stubbornness that I wanted to, you know, actually clash properly. So if that's the case, my bad for the terrible gameplay. That's my fault.
Come on.
Too injured to fight. Yeah, he got split apart.
이쯤에서 전투를 포기하셨을 거라고 애초에 이런 상황에 놓이지 않을 거라고.
I don't know. The heart. Yeah. This day would come. What? What are you talking about? That's not happening, dude. Learn from my mistakes and make appropriate corrections to its content. Wait, what's gonna happen? Oh, frick! Nuh-uh. Oh, what? Whoa, hold on, what? Whoa. Frick you, bro. Oh, what the frick? Getting flashbacks. Completely mad. Yeah, I wonder why. Oh, his arm! Yo! What? Oh my gosh! Oh! That's the first time I've ever seen Gregor get emotional enough to the point that his arm went crazy. What? Wow. Okay. Looks like you've finally been freed from your bundle of liability. Right through the heart.
죽기라도 했다는 거야?
Dude, do you not see his heart on a platter?
심장이 뽀.
먼저 받아 있어!
No. Oh, I feel so bad. Oh, God.
이 하찮은 벌레 새끼가 지금 뭘 들고 있는 거야?
Uh-oh. Oh my God.
이 징그러운 새끼가!
What is going on? Bruh, you end it right there? After ending it on a massive cliffhanger, we jump right back into the current situation with the LCE team. But before that, we get another flashback with Callisto, well, letting her witness the art the ring usually dabbles in. And yeah, it's not a pleasant sight. But then we also see the grown-up version, which obviously grows to quote-unquote appreciate the same art in her own way. And I mean, we've seen multiple instances of this in other parts of the game. So finally though, we are back at the current situation, and sadly, Alyssa's plan, or attack I should say, did little to nothing. And as he basically berates her and tortures her, Sinclair makes some comments about his art and what he's quote-unquote learned from being here. And at this point, it's looking pretty bleak. The sinners are horribly in pain. Hohenheim and Alyssa are exhausted. But as Saude is trying to comfort Sinclair by mentioning the past, something starts arising within him. I think Sinclair might awaken. Oh, what the hell?
당신은 어떤 것에 분노를 느끼셨나요?
While that's going on, Alyssa is still being tortured, with Albina trying to use her as flesh food for the sword. But Hohenheim has seemingly a plan, as he starts conversing with Callisto about a bunch of art stuff, even claiming his artwork is inspired. So Hohenheim takes his time to just have a dialogue with Callisto, mentioning everything he's seen at the company, all the suffering, everything, you know, that's happened, and saying some pretty gnarly stuff. But at the end of all this, Hohenheim reveals that he might be intending to sacrifice himself. But at the sight of this and hearing this, well, Sinclair's not having it and feels guilt for not being strong enough, not being brave enough, not being enough. But Hohenheim tells him that the numbers and the checkup was just numbers. Numbers that can help awaken something. And with this, past, the present, Callisto has Hohenheim in his grasp, ready to cleave into his head and turn him into another grotesque art piece. Then, after inquiring about Callisto's hat, he mentions that he tried peering into his mind pretty much, but then, well, it was a failure, so he had to piece it together again. And with this knowledge, Hohenheim delivers a clutch surprise attack somehow, using an ego called Diffraction. Albina then rushes to his side. He then complains about his brain stem quite literally shaking inside of his body and starts strangling Hohenheim. At least he made an opening. Sadly, Albina prevents any sort of counterattack. And then Sinclair, begging anyone, someone to help, comes to the realization that you can't rely on everyone forever. Then Albina comes here and starts being like, I want to be friends with you, yeah, like, you're the only one left here that needs to be friends with me, yeah, with a creepy ass smile, I have to add. This smile is actually horrifying. And then we cut back to Hohenheim's situation, which is unfavorable, intentionally choking him because it's the most painful way to kill someone. And apparently, this is mercy coming from him, said by Albina. She then goes on about the act of creation and to witness this opportunity, to see this. After she says she wants to be a maestro in the future who has surpassed her maestro.
The future. Yo! Yo!
내 안에서
Suffusing within me is a scent, a stench. As Callisto goes on about having a perfect balance of humidity and temperature in relation to Sinclair's comment, Sinclair smells a stench. A stench of rot. I see. Yo! Yo! Hold on, I need to make sure I'm recording, bro. Okay, I am. The smoke was blue.
푸른색이었어.
Huh? Yo, hold on. Yo. Prolium bleh.
적이 있었죠.
I too once sought the answer of knowledge. What? A certain Sinclair, the sign future, Abraxas chariot. What? This music, hold on. What is this music? I'm turning this up, bro. Dude.
당신 짝패군요.
I need to see this. Yo! Sinclair my goat. From the beginning of his conto, I don't care. I've loved this dude. Oh. Yo. Yeah, I'm not gonna win because of that now. God dang it, pal. Uh-oh. No, this is your fault, Ishmael. A bait? What? Wait, what's he doing? Huh? Hold on. Double ego? What? What? Yo! Go, my goat! The prosthesis. Let me purge them off you. That's a green coin. That's a green coin. What? A bottle of wine would have gone great with this technique, I think that said. Oh my gosh. Looks like my past sub has faced some rough battles too. Or tough. I'm actually shaking, bro. I'm actually shaking. They did not have to go this hard with the music, dude. Stagger! No. Let me show you the singular teaching that has shaped my life. Hell yeah! Go, Ishmael! Get your hand out of my damn body, bro. Beg you! Abate the snake! Smoke. I said snake. I'm a dumbass. This lonely path of adversity, the path of my choosing. Trent. Oh, and here comes the prosthesis. A move. Oh! Yo! That art is so cool, bro! Yo! Smoke War Sinclair! Sorry, Albina, you're fried. Your fast is dead. Okay. I was getting to that part. Yo! Double Mang? Oh, you're gone, bro. It's over. Oh my. Well, there goes your apprentice, dude. Your perspective was severely lacking. No shit. It is forgiven. Sorry, pal, you're dead. The air here is clean. I haven't breathed like this in so long. Oh, the scars they left on Albina will sublimate her into a masterpiece. Sinclair's dominating, dude. Yo! Unbreakable coins. This kind of art really isn't to my liking. He has lightning now? Kozan, go! It's over. Goodbye, bro. 52 HP. You ain't living this. You ain't living this. I think I've heard enough. Your eyes have been witnesses to such a vast spectrum of slaughter. Please tell me, how does my gallery appear? Reflected in those eyes. It's trashy. Damn, just straight up. Like some things my life has led me to see as of late. Allow me to see it too? It'd be meaningless to try to explain them with words. Bye, Callisto! And that is enough. So it is. Oh my... Oh my... Nah, you just end it like that? No shot.
After Sinclair wipes the floor with them completely, might I add, we finally get a little bit more context as to where this Sinclair comes from and how the frick this power came to be. So basically, when our Sinclair awakened his own sign, it summoned this Sinclair into the current time, is the easiest way of explaining it. But anyway, Hohenheim and Sinclair, you know, try to guess how many years they've traveled back, but Sinclair, I mean, he's not gonna answer this Sinclair. To put it simply, the future where this Sinclair comes from doesn't seem very nice. Sinclair himself said, I mean, not much to be happy about the past either, cause this Sinclair comes from the Second Smoke War, which is terrifying to think about because, as we learn on later, Faust correctly guesses that the sign summoned the Sinclair here, and he also explains that each Sinclair has their own signs. The Sinclairs summoned by the sign aren't identities, they aren't possibilities, it is a future, in Sinclair's own words, akin to a different branch on a tree. And obviously, considering the fact that he comes from the Second Smoke War, Ishmael can't help but ask to see if this is the future that awaits us. Who knows if what'll happen in his timeline will happen in our own. And he also says that maybe his entire life was for this one moment, to do this one thing, and then that is that. He wishes others were here, others that he wished he could see again. And the only things that keeps him going is the memories of the days he spent with everyone on the bus. But anyway, after that moment of sadness, Sinclair must leave. Who knows if this Sinclair will die or not, but he served his purpose here. So he's glad he got to spend his last moments, if these are his last moments, with the people he cared about. Before he leaves, he ominously tells Faust a piece of advice for the future. And in the future, if Sinclair's sign awakens again, there's a high likelihood it might be a different Sinclair from a different future. It might not be the Sinclair again. But after Hohenheim makes one comment about him growing slightly taller now, he leaves after a solemn thank you. After everything seems to be said and done for the LCE team though, the next stage just pops us right back into the current situation with the LCD. Let's get started. Really? Might be time for a restart, just because you sold that badly. First shot in. Come on, bro. Again! Oh my god. Okay, thanks for the assist, Moses. He actually lost! You're not expecting to lose. Answer me, partial packs. Hell yeah. Nice. Stagger plus, we still have 6. That's okay, plenty defense. Oh my god, never mind.
Nice. Still gonna hit the counter. Lonesome stand.
사색의 피해.
She's down. Okay.
저들은 더욱
Next section. Check this out, kid. Okay, yeah, they hit first, so that means they'll get the counter hit, and I can do the unopposed attacks normally. Just a bit more HP. Come on. Alright, target fix, which means just spam everything. Gotta cover him. Or her, sorry. Yeah, because he's starting to take way less damage. God dang it, Don Quixote. Okay, that's fine. Okay, a bit more charging. Oh, what? This cascade will wash away even the fires of the hell. Yo! Flames put out. Okay. Gonna save my moves just in case he's still taking like 0 damage. After a little while of pummeling Matthias for a solid good minute. Ooh, Ren space. Hold on, I need to see this. Oh my gosh. The bee stinger! Yeah! All of that malice full to the brim. Ooh, what is she doing? Damn! This dude just freaking blocks the attack because he saw it coming, which is lovely. In the midst of them rendezvousing, seeing if she could do it again, Kira just, let me air back up, disappears until she just pops up above Vespa, trying to land a sneak attack. Good catch. Uh-oh. Oh no.
아무리 특색 해결사라도 이 유물을 쓰면
What just happened? Even through the daughter? Well, a little sacrifice anything if it's one. Oh wow. Yeah, Matthias is also a piece of shit. Let's just put it that way. After a bit of judging the middle, rightfully so, it's no wonder he got kicked out of his clan. Go back to another flashback of him and Yoshu, and it's him doing his usual middle things. They're trying to enter a bar, and then like they were trying to get something from someone, but it was the wrong color, so now he's gonna get vengeance or something. But then they just leave, you know. Moses says something about summoning OG memories from back in the war. That's giving her PTSD. And for now, she's gonna be charging up one more of the Crimson Point attack she used previously. So hopefully, with this last attack, this dude can finally just frick off and die. The true meaning of badass. Hell yeah, Don Quixote. He's still good at what the frick? Oh! Oh! And with that, another one of the fingers is down. After Matthias got turned into a donut and proceeded to get his head sliced off, we finally get back to what's going on with Gregor and the others. And it's not looking good. Valentina then goes on to explain what she remembered from back in the Smoke War of the 3 strongest in the G-Corp. But there was a secret 4th one. One that didn't quite hatch properly. It shouldn't be surprising that this one, the cockroach, is Gregor. She starts going on about what a good old memories it had. All the murder, all the stuff she did. Proudly, she says. And then she starts going on about one of the stragglers that managed to survive. And then she did some pretty despicable stuff. Bro, what the frick?
4개면 아쉬울 뻔했는데 마침 다리도 6개잖아. 다리 한 개를 잡살내니까 꼴에 반항을 하더군. 소리 다리 2개부터는 나를 피하기
Is he frying up? Is she frying up burger?
반대 그러다가 들어봐 도망도 안 가.
Leg 5? Did you skip leg 4, bro?
그냥 기다리고
Kill yourself.
잔인하다고 하지.
She really just says, you try to call me cruel. You are. Gregor tells her to stay away, but not because he's scared of her.
가까이 오지 마.
I think you just awakened him, you dumbass.
우리는 검은 날개
What?
어둠 속에
Old Jacob, Ungizia for Kaiser. Huh? Hearken to our darkling wing beats as we make our nest in the shadows. What? Oh my god.
갑작과 생성
March, consume. Whoa. What the frick?
삭제 재생
아이 씨발 진짜잖아. 이제 와서
Hell yeah.
I just gotta say, before we get to what's gonna happen next, Valentina, this was your fault. You caused this. Anyway, Brodion, Heathcliff, and Virgilius go to see where the hell Gregor went, and they see something.
What?
이동이 없는 게 영 이상.
인기척이라고?
Oh.
아니야. 소리가
Oh my god, bro.
엄청나게 바닥을
The skittering of countless legs swarming across the floor. He's awakened. Oh my. Oh my. My god.
저거
Yeah. At this point, who knows what they can do right now? Heathcliff asks for an answer from Virgilius to see if beating the crap out of him will bring him back. And Virgilius says even he's not sure because it's not a power. But even through this hopelessness, Rodion manages to meet Gregor's eyes with her own, which means he's still in there. They have to get it off of him right now, or it might be too late. Like usual, Heathcliff says, we'll try it until it works.
Let the swarm pullulate. Let the black plague consume or something. The Roach Emperor. What is this music? Well, Valentina got absolutely assassinated. Twin! What, you want me to clash against this? Lord of all roaches, a wing's decisive weapon, Emperor of pests. Dude. He has green coins as well! But how am I supposed to do it? Like, huh? This music is so good! Oh my lord. I can't even... No, it's just not possible. Oh, Heathcliff. Okay, she's dominating now. Thank the lord I got the freaking... with the tear sharpened sword. Well, what am I supposed to do? Okay. This is gonna be unbreakable coins, but it does a lot less, so at least that's something. Okay, I think that should be most of the bugs taken care of, yeah. Oh wow, my Heathcliff is on 0 sanity. What do I do here? Ego Pop, I will wager my life so that I may engrave it into all these eyes but not be bound by it. What? Ego time? Dude. It's been what, since Kanto 6 since we've seen Virgilius use Ego? I'm not counting Kanto 7 because he just popped in. This is like an actual fight. Here we go again. The abominable skittering echo outside the window. So yeah, all his lines is just relating to, well, bugs.
Evidently. The reign of the Emperor is finally coming to a close. Please save our asses, Virgilius. Proteon staggered. Like, oh. Or red. Oh, here we go. What's he doing now? What? Okay. Funeral for a dead blood fiend. Huh? K-Corp. Double K-Corp. Not even he can deal with it. What? Oh my gosh. I freaking corroded! Not even Virgilius can win against most of these clashes. Like, if he can't even win, how am I supposed to win? Okay. Okay, hold on. Now, I gotta say, this took me like an hour, maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours. This was not only a long fight, but it was difficult. I'm pretty positive the reason why it took me a lot longer for me was because I was doing a lot of stuff wrong, like I did with the last Virgilius fight that we did with Valentina. So that is entirely on me. But either way, I still think, in my opinion, this was really, really difficult to find a plan to make. Phase 2, here we go. Now this is where I need to frickin' activate it. If I don't, we are surely dead. I was playing smart in the last few rounds now that I noticed that it's only up until Ego that they're all going for my units. Once Virgilius pops Ego, that's when I can do stuff like this. She's panicked. She went below the threshold. Shit. This does a crap load too, but Virgilius got that unlock. I think I beat it. Oh my gosh, I just had to plan properly. Let's go! Snap out of it, bro! Come on! Finish it! Triple Mang! Oh! Is he back? He's back! Yes! After a while of being pummeled, I finally beat it. After finally being able to bring Gregor back from the brink somehow, Virgilius explained that the only reason we were able to get him out of this state was because he was still in the process of hatching. They are absolutely dead tired, including Virgilius. He's human still. Even though he's stupid strong, he's still human. So he's exhausted as well. But anyway, with all said and done, the sinners get ready to be summoned by Dante, where we still haven't caught up to that, so let's get to that, shall we? But first, this is a diabolical cutscene, but there is a incredibly short story section. Just look at it for yourself. Dude. Oh. Sorry, pal, it's over. Yo! Damn! Damn! Yeah, let's just say they did not live this. He then proceeds to just outright say that, oh, I didn't cause a malfunction in your guns, bro. That was just you. And then that's it. It just ends. He just waits and boom. After trying and failing again to get Don Quixote, we come back to the current situation with Dante and the others. We start off with the thread that we saw last time. And with the blade still inside of the Pinky nurse father, Ryoshu then begins narrating her own feelings and thoughts on her circumstances while she was growing up, saying how children can sense who loves them, who doesn't like them, who wants to hurt them, and the people that care for them, and how the nurse fathers each cared for her in weird ways, to put it simply, but every single one had their own way of caring. They were the people that raised her, parents. And then we also get to see another memory, one about something that she has in her hands, something that she has to take care of. We then cut to Rien and Yoshihide, and also explicitly explaining to Ryoshu that her parents don't really feel pity because, well, it's the nature of who they are. She explains that only she can feel pity, so she wishes to keep Saru. And while Rien lets her, he doesn't recommend it. And yeah, Ryoshu basically explains that Rien was probably the only one that was to a point kind to her, but deep down, she knew that it was all just a will of the prescript. After that though, we cut to a family feud between all 5 of the nurse fathers and also Ryoshu. But then this scene is really just tough to watch for me. After the Dihui Star asks for the spiral weapon that we've seen before from Rien, she... Twin! Twin! Nah, bro. Nah. Dihui Star, you deserve getting your tongue cut out. I'm just gonna say that. As Ryoshu screams for her, well, dying dog, she deliberately tells Ryoshu to go, well, do the assassination contract to get the password to save poor Saru. And she kills the target she's supposed to. She comes back, gets the password, but still an injury. So every time the poor dog breathed,
색색거리는 숨소리가
bruh, nah.
보고 더 이상 꼬리를 흔들지 않았다.
Nah! Then, I guess as a way to cheer her up, I guess, from the ring nurse father, she makes Yoshihide a blade in their name. She went on to explain sensations of pure love she could feel from each of the nurse fathers. The smell of booze from Valentina and the bruises, the warm voice of Rien, the desire to spoil Ryoshu by Matthias, the desire to shape Ryoshu into someone in his likeness, and the constant wailing pain of the Dihui Star. And with these 5 people, they made her who she is today. And then we cut to Rien explaining how the tortoise spiral weapon works, but he compares it to doubt. We see young Ryoshu playing freeze tag with him. A wholesome little moment. And then we see the ball of yarn, accumulated from all the threads that have been built up to this point. And then, most likely, when she got Araya, the thing that Rien talked about staked itself in her heart. We then see a nice wholesome little moment between Araya and Ryoshu. A little yarn thingy she's playing with, which Ryoshu then asks if Araya wants to go to school, and obviously she does. But then she thinks about everything she most likely missed back then. She thinks she could have experienced had someone asked her the same questions she's giving Araya. What she wants to do, what she wants to be, where she wants to go. A privilege that was never given to her as a child. And then Ryoshu dreams of a future where she could see her daughter grow up. From a child, to a teenager, to an adult with a passion for music. But she then realizes that she doesn't know if she could ever get to be one. Because she finally had realized they had been caught in the middle of the spiderweb all along. Everything she kept, everything she got, was never without a price. And then we finally see this baboon again, with him doing his usual, banter about him teaching her and whatever. And yeah, the relationship is the same, to put it lightly. Apparently, a lot of people are there to teach Ryoshu today, from blood fiends to other people, pinkies and whatnot. But after Ryoshu tries to leave, He manages to get her to stay by mentioning the relic, the blade that she wields. And also mentions that everyone that tried using it got absolutely destroyed. And then he tries goading her into using it. Apparently, he already pulled this crappy trick before. And in response, he says an interesting line. But my button, come here, biscuit. So yeah, he had already convinced her to use it back when she was a teenager, and yep, her mind was sliced to pieces. To the point where her mind was sent back to when Saru was dying, even though she was no longer there. So that's when the nurse fathers agreed it's best to only let her use it once all 5 unanimously agree on it. Cut back to Lei Heng and actual adult Ryoshu still arguing with each other. And then Araya decides to pop her head into the conversation, which is not ideal. Because Ryoshu doesn't really like Lei Heng, she tells her to go inside just for safety, you know? But after a bit more swears and very, very kind words, Lei Heng makes the correct deduction that her daughter is the thing that's keeping her there. But then, we realize Lei Heng's actually talking here. He's aware he got absolutely blown to bits by Jia-Chu in the earlier console. He then gives Ryoshu one single piece of advice: to hang on to the thread she so tightly grips onto. We cut back to a previous moment where Araya was teaching Ryoshu on how to shorten stuff. Ryoshu's an amateur here, but a sweet moment really does happen here. I love you so much. Ryoshu then just simply tells her to have some watermelon and to keep trying at a later date. And Ryoshu is still trying but failing at abbreviating things. And then we cut to another flashback, this time back to teenagehood, right after the incident when she unsheathed the blade and lost her memories. So he plans to make a new blade for her, one that she can use for the time being until they agree the next time to use the blade. Apart from one of the nurse fathers, only she can truly use it to its full potential. And then we finally get the name of what the blade is called, Arayashiki. And it's also apparently one of the rarest relics in existence. And this is also when he tells her that whenever she uses that blade, she cuts out a piece of her own mind. But it's so smooth that whichever memories were cut, she doesn't know. And apparently, Ryoshu knows exactly how many times she used that blade. Then after that, we go to another memory, this time of Araya complaining that she doesn't remember a time when she and Ryoshu went to go have a new snack. As evidenced by that one moment, the sword was beginning to seem even more scary to unsheath for her, because she keeps making new memories with Araya, memories she wants to keep. Time is running out, specifically for Araya, for when the nurse fathers no longer deem her necessary. And with this, she asks what Araya wants to be when she grows up, but we don't see what Araya says. We just see what Ryoshu wants Araya to be, what she wants Araya to do. And then we finally arrive to the incident where she unsheathed the blade on every single one of her nurse fathers. She was to commence a mission. And then, because the sword is ready and primed for the mission, she calls towards her daughter and tells her to hide inside of the safe. In here, it will be dark and quiet, but time will pass by really fast. So she asks her to wait in there, and she promises she'll be back. And after she's hidden, proceeds to follow each one of the threads and chops up each of her nurse fathers. Not enough to kill them, but enough to wound them and to leave this place. Obviously, Valentina gets violent and aggressive about it, per usual, but you asked for it. Ryoshu shuts her up real quickly by slicing her eyeball away. Then Matthias is next. Callisto, destroying presumably also a lot of his own art. And finally, Rian, back in the position he was before, with his burnt frickin' eyeball. And after he's done, we remember back to the time where she also, like she said herself, when she stabbed through her the last time, and when she said she killed her. Oh! There was no way she could have lived. She theorizes that the reason she didn't go for the head may be because she was swinging the blade for so long, she might have forgotten how to properly kill a life. But then she thinks that because she's so similar to the Dihui star, will she face the same fate? We arrive back where we left off, with Dante passed out on the floor from apparently watching over all the sinners in their current states. However, he passed out before he could see the resolution of each one. So the Sinclair is still there in his mind, Gregor is still rampaging everywhere, and the LCD missing the first Crimson Point. For now, they're on their own, and we are back to the current situation with Ryoshu piercing the nurse father's chest, and then her ripping it back out. But then we realized as she was moving away, she wasn't escaping, she wasn't running, she was leading us into somewhere, leading us into a new room. And while Ryoshu was trying to confirm in her head that she stabbed the Dihui star, that she should be dead, the Dihui star starts talking a lot more, with her presumably still going on about the time she suffered inside of the House of Spiders. But Ryoshu, because she was risen there, because she dealt with all of that, she has the right to be resentful. The Dihui star promptly says, well, you freed yourself. I didn't. You got to see things I never got to see, pretty much. But Ryoshu still has one question in her mind. How are you alive? With the Dihui star just planting even more seeds of doubt inside her chest. Are you even remotely sure your memories aren't lying to you? What if that's just a feeling? But then she says something odd.
이 도시도 거미집도 그 아이를 기억할 수 있는 마음이 없는 장소가 되었어.
And then she just says, it's how our story ends. Ryoshu claps back, saying that not for Araya. She's still waiting. And then...
아라야는 기다리고 있잖아!
What the hell? With her name and title now being uncertain, we must fight. Hold on, what? What is going on, yo? The Pinky Nest Father, question mark, question mark, question mark. Oh, we're back in this hellhole. Oh, I'm gonna kill myself. Okay. We're starting off decent. I'm glad. Ow, what the hell was that? Oh, and Marisol's starting already. Okay, please, Otis. Well, let's see if we can get lucky. Of course not. Ugh. All coin hits. Really, dude? Oh my gosh. Nope. Not even that. I'm gonna restart. This is what I'm talking about. Don't start selling Marisol. Okay, they're all pretty much maxed out on sanity, which means we should be fine for a little while. After dealing with her for a little bit and getting her down to 0 HP, next phase. At least I assume it's gonna be the next phase. I don't think she's gonna die that easily. Yeah. Oh, what?
헤아릴 수 없이 원망했으니 이 순간조차 베어내리라.
Oh, well, there go my other sinners. What the hell?
말해줘도
Just a solo now. Okay. I have a feeling I know who this is. Holy shit, they have a lot of shin. But I'm not gonna say anything yet. I'm gonna lock in. This is sick. This is really cool. Don't think I've had a solo fight like this in a while. Yet there was still no return. Yeah. Think I know who this is, bruh. Okay, we're still in the clear. Even the few words of promise have sunk into oblivion. Nice. I'm not sure if it's bugged for me, but there's no lyrics playing. But I think that it might just be because, yeah. It is better than to sever them here. Araya is waiting for no one. Okay, yeah, these aren't lyrics, but the music is sick in the background. Holy, my heart is racing. Oh, that's impossible to hit. Shit. I've got a choice. Come on, Ryoshu, I need you to lock in. And as the battle rages on with just Ryoshu, once you finally get her down low enough. Okay. Yo! Whoa! Yo, this is sick. Hello? Soft singing echoes in Ryoshu's ears. What Araya was saying and thinking for the time she was inside the safe. Will she be here today? Tomorrow? And as these words ring in Ryoshu's head, she begs for her to stop talking. However, these words combine. They tangle like a ball of yarn, so you can't tell who's speaking. And then speaking to whom.
딸은 너를 영영 떠났어.
No.
네가 그랬던 것처럼.
And then Ryoshu goes back inside her mind. She's probably hidden somewhere, and I'll be wandering. We're not gonna be able to meet for a long time, but I cannot lose her. Ryoshu hopes that she's somewhere across that starry night. And then we're taken back to the pinky promise between the two of them, with Araya confidently saying that she'll be waiting for there forever. And then she remembers the cramped little space she put her daughter in, the one to which she never came back to. But Ryoshu swears she never left, as she cries out and swings once more. But the nurse father doesn't even move. She takes it and only asks her one question.
이번엔 어떤 기억을 날렸어?
Uh-oh. And with that, she falls. We return once again back to the moment of the pinky promise, with Ryoshu telling her to hide in the box for a little while. Then she promises she'll come back. But while it seems to be the same memory as normal per usual,
아니야. 엄마는 돌아오지 않아.
we get just depressing scene of events of seeing Araya talk to herself in that safe. And as Araya keeps going on about the things she wants to do with her mom, the truth is revealed here.
엄마는 나를 잊었어.
Huh?
문은 열리지 않아.
Araya mentions how there wasn't ever a calendar in there. No clock, she didn't even know what day it was. And then she came to the conclusion that she left for good. And once that reality set in for her, she pushed the safe open herself. Rian was waiting just outside the door. Him recognizing that the safe was used a lot by her, and also telling Araya about the unique properties of her blood, the way she can interact with it. But, as Rian explains, not a single copy that they try to make will ever have her innate ability to sense that time, as was established earlier. And while that shared blood allowed Araya to hide out in the safe for at least a little while, is also the exact reason why the amount of time that Araya was supposed to stay there was made a mess. But Rian promises that she will reunite with Yoshihide, with her mom, until Ryoshu's teaching is complete. The House of Spiders will stay. And with this, he says that there's vacancy until Yoshihide is complete.
네 적성이라면 비어있는 지혜성도
Nah.
손을 펴자.
And right then and there, she looked down at her hands, and they were old, entwined with thread. And then she thinks back to the memory of when Ryoshu and Araya exchanged names. Rian continues onward, explaining the consequences of the whole time thing that has just happened. And that's when Araya makes the conclusion. If she becomes a nurse father, follows the threads to where she is, she might see her again. That she will come home. And then we get another moment. A nice wholesome funny moment of Araya explaining to Ryoshu how smoking is bad to do in front of kids, that it can affect their growth, that it can affect how they develop, with Ryoshu brushing off the teacher who told her so as just some douchebag. But even though she said that, she never touched it again. Araya will grow to smoke the same brand she used to. Felt like she was breathing alongside her mother. The scent of the flow of time that was over Ryoshu reminds her of the one moment she never wants to remember.
엄마, 어디가? 나 혼자 두지 마. 어디 가는데? 어디 갔어?
Bruh.
And then we go back to when the golden bows were stolen, to when Ryoshu could not recognize her own daughter. Every moment, every memory began to tremble in the thrash. And in her dying words,
엄마라고 불러도 돼.
and with this final memory finally being seen, it's only then, as her child says her last words, that Ryoshu sees her in the folds of time. The singing voice that Ryoshu heard is no longer. As Ryoshu raises her sword, and she stares at all the threads, including the chain that tied Dante and the other sinners together. And Dante correctly deduces that Ryoshu wants to sever the chain because she has failed to protect the one thing she was promised she would return to. So now, what's the point in staying? And there it goes. Didn't even resist. It was as if they never met each other. And with that, the memories, the moments, slowly get severed away as time itself howls in pain. With that bombshell, we cut back to Rien, being so proud. She has finally let go and become the weapon they wanted her to be. The masterpiece is now being completed. And so, Rien sends Sora as her quote-unquote final test. As she sadly says, she loved every single day she spent with him. Ren walks up, and now that his nurse father has completed their task, he wouldn't have a reason to stay. But he says that she merely only completed the purpose he had made for her. He may have entered this mess to just get the title, but he thinks himself not worthy yet. And also, Araya is not completely dead. As Ryoshu slashes away, he simply says it's too late. So, Ren decides to join Sora to fight against what he now calls a wielder of Muga, the non-self. And Otis, well, seeing everything unfolding, she asks what's next. Dante simply says that she severed the chain without being able to. Once you enter the contract, you can't just leave. So, he decides to help, even though she might quit in the end, but one thought lingers in his mind. Will the future that the future Sinclair comes from come to pass? But he knows this is what he must do, and see her off properly. So far, bro.
이번 실험만 이겨낼 수.
The state of Muga, the non-self. Even her own self is forgotten. Oh my gosh. Tiansha's Starblade. I'm tearing up, man. Purple fucking coins? What the f? There's only one way to end this. Wow, she's just erasing the coins. Oh my. The slashes are still there. There goes the move. Just disappears. Splatter. Yeah. Oh, this is really being useless right now. Oh, it's for. I can't even read it properly anymore. Muga, it's disappearing. The name of the skills. Before Araya meets the same fate as Saru. Oh my god. Using the ultimate. No, Uncle, you need to. I love that. I can't read anything apart from my own units. Oh, ultimate move. Oh my lord. Thank you, Marisol, for selling. I can't even see anything anymore. What is going on? Erasing me, erasing you. Little by little, she's just tearing into the move. Goodbye. Oh my god. That is my wolf. And they're gone! I have goosebumps, dude. Even though you're trying. Nothing will be left of you now. Goodbye. Erasing me, erasing you. Goodbye, Sora. Ain't even no text, it's just gone. Finally, Ren and Sora being completely erased. Rian asks if anyone can even remember them. He can't, and all he's gonna do is wait with another creepy ass smile. But of course, because Dante is Dante, he's able to remember. But Otis confirms that, well, Dante's a special case. They can't really remember either. What they meant to make her into is basically a human concept incinerator. And then Rian goes in detail, with tearing a piece of a napkin, burning it, swallowing it. But as long as someone still remembers it, you can still find it somewhere. So that was pretty much the main goal. Basically a machine to erase anything and everything. And Rian ends it with just saying to everyone who died or survived, marvelous job. The objective was complete, because Araya has now left a void so large that all she can think of is slashing everything away to pieces. But in the midst of all that chaos, a voice was heard by Dante. Huh? Little Araya was somehow able to talk to Dante. She starts asking him, haven't you seen a ball of yarn? As he's brought back to whatever the hell is currently going on, Otis can't hear anything. But Marisol does note that as she was dying, she held the manager's ankle. The moment she approached, memories rushed into him. Namely, for the first one, before scattering away. What? The guitar she would have had. And then Dante obviously asks, what's going on with Ryoshu? But, not an answer, he keeps going. The memories that times she remembers the most, of the days she spent with Ryoshu. You'll get a snack called Dragon's Beard Candy. If you haven't heard of it, here's a gif of it. It's a pretty popular Asian candy. Looks really good. And she explains how it gets made. Getting split into multiple strands until basically string. Or almost to a cotton candy's texture. They both washed it together. And now, she's watching it herself.
지금도 보고 있지. 역시 내 말이 맞잖아. 엄마가 나보다 세 개 더 많이 먹었다니까. 그리고
The threads that appear cut are just getting thinner and thinner and longer and longer. And then every path they've ever walked are connected. And so, she's gonna tell her, thank you. And Dante just confirms what she said. It's true. They get longer. They will get so damn thin that they'll scatter before they can even reach. So if that's the case, maybe a chain will work instead. That brought her back from death countless times. Ramasaurus.
Ira. Melt down the severed chain and reforge it in the roaring kiln of one's heart. The resolve to sever everything, and the blade that cuts through all. They have both started from the same wish. The wish to protect. So he just tells Araya, take the chain and let it guide you. For her to tell her everything she wanted to say. And so she grabs the chain, and we see little Araya run towards her mother. Even though the chain was already severed once, it is their strand. And then we see her as a teenager. She has entered the fathoms of Ryoshu, and at the same time exists outside her. Then we hear Ryoshu's current mindset. Back to Ryoshu's mind.
무엇인지는 알 수 없지만 누구인지도 모르겠지만.
Finally, we make it to adult Araya, and we hear every moment.
나는
I hear
듣고
Mom
있어.
and Mother Ryoshu.
길을 잃은 내 아이야. 돌아오는 방향을 모르겠다면 가장 아팠던 첫 매듭을 더듬어서 되짚어봐.
And we make it back to the beginning of where it all started. And Araya calls her by Ryoshu. How do you write your name?
자, 읽어봐.
Yoshihide. Ryoshu.
아니, 그 글자는 그렇게 읽는 게 아니라 요시대라고 읽는
Yoshihide.
거다.
That's how you say it.
요슈! 이게 더 편하고
Prettier and easier.
이쁘잖아.
As Araya speaks to her mother, in every single strand where Araya and Ryoshu met, she never let go, not even once. And that's how she knows the ends and beginnings of every single one, all the adventures they had together. The sad, the good, and with this, wow. What the hell? What? Drag! Whoa! Whoa! Cut back to that same memory, asking Araya if she can read the letters properly now.
응, 당근이지. 그래도 역시 묘슈가 제일 좋아.
This time, Ryoshu's here.
미안하다.
LCB Ryoshu.
알아요.
괜찮아. 나는
Glad I was
엄마
your
딸로
daughter.
태어날 수 있어서 좋았어. 나는 하고 싶었던 모든 것들을 엄마랑 같이 이루었거든. 어느 날에 기타 연주는 망쳤지만 엄마는 맨 앞에서 제일 크게 손뼉을 쳐줬고
Oh my gosh.
부실하게 들어있는 소시지는 문어 모양과 거리가 멀었지만 진짜 맛있었어. 엄마를 보던 순간부터 내가 느낀 건 결국 그리움뿐이었어.
How much I missed you. Wow. And with this, we finally hear the answer of what Araya wanted to be when she grew up.
엄마, 나는 커서 엄마의 엄마가 되고 싶어. 그렇다면 이번엔 내가 엄마한테 사랑을 줄 수 있잖아. 엄마, 나 오늘 학교에서 새로운 거 배워왔어. 내가 말할 테니까 잘 듣고 따라해봐. 엄마는 나에게 있어서 완소야.
I love you so much.
알아야. 너 내.
I love you too. And for one final time, Araya teaches her another slang.
그렇게 줄이는 거 아니라니까.
It's not how you shorten
마지막으로
One last time.
한 번 더 알려줄게.
And little by little, she forgets as the memories flutter away. Okay, I need a moment. I'll be right back. After taking a solid minute to freaking wind down from that, we are confronted with Rian, whose bum ass is still here even after everything that happened. And then he asks the question that does she remember or have any idea of what she just lost? In Dante's words, Ryoshu has crawled out from the depths of hell, literally only being brought back by one single thread. She's back up with a new blade and scabbard, and Rian just continues on saying that, well, Araya's gone, sent away. What you came back for, what you wanted to protect, what you wanted to, well, do everything for, is now gone. Everyone else remembers, but you don't. She says herself, she's lost everything. But Dante corrects her. She's still holding it. The sheath. And of course, Rian knew what she was going to become with this completion. If she had truly attained perfection, what would he have left? He responds with Hermes, the thing that always gives him the prescript and, well, tells him what to do and whatnot. Honestly, this guy's whole being is just prescript. Prescript after prescript, he's nothing more than a robot, basically. One day, this prescript told him to change his name, so he did. Start a family, he did. That people would die right in front of his eyes, and he would do nothing, it happened. And his wife and child didn't understand why he didn't do anything. Very messed up. After Ryoshu says that he just accepted that, says, do you think I shouldn't have? And then he reminds her of a story about a spider that wished to leave, that gazed at the sky, wanting to explore the world. And then a chrysalis, who was wise and old, seeing him, told the spider to just keep circling it 3,000 times. Nothing happened, another 3,000, again and again and again. But after a million repetitions, most likely, the spider was full of despair. I have done this so many times. Why isn't anything different? And now, as a butterfly, he answered, resign yourself to the fact you're forever bound to the web. And that is apparently the only way to be free. He tries to, I guess, keep her there. Maybe convince her of something. Saying that she'll lose everything if she lets herself be shackled by feelings. And so that is why he wishes to remain in the House of Spiders. And with that, the final dance commences. You know? The finale. The last finger.
이대로 널 보내면 너는 평생 집으로 돌아오지 않겠지.
No, it's fine.
널 막아 이곳에 머물게 한들 내게 남는 건 없을 거야. 하지만 공허한 후회가 심장을
Oh, God.
파보단 낫지 않겠니?
Prescript.
좋아, 시작하자고.
Alright then. Let's get this party started. From what Chad said, this is gonna be a hard fight, so let's do this. Gebura's blade. What the f? Convert all skills into unbreakable coins? What? Melee, again, with the beautiful soundtrack. I'm gonna start crying again, bro. I just freaking stopped. I'm genuinely so thankful to my friends and to you guys for inspiring me to do this and to check out this game in the first place. 2 to go. Cycling for weapons pretty much. Nice. Gotta be very careful with who the prescript chooses, or else more than likely I'll be dead. Ugh. Although the selling really doesn't help. I'll just leave it at that.
폭죽 소리가 들리는 것 같아.
Furioso replica.
이런 날이 왔구나.
Trying to replicate the black silence, I see. Sorry to say, but copy's cheap.
나 피날래지? 떠날 이유는 없을 거야. 모든 것을 잃었어.
Oh wow, it really is like the freaking Roland one. Wow.
좋아.
Oh, damn it, Don Quixote. No, like it's over though. No, I couldn't get that lucky forever. They're all following the prescript. When I want to, he's gonna hit it. Well, time to lay on the pain. Oh, never mind. And treat this wound. Once again, we'll return home anyway. Takes the damn mask off.
내가
Yep.
여기 남기라도 할 것처럼 말하는군.
The prescript of doom.
너만 남아 있으면 돼. 그러면
Oh god.
사라지지 않아. 그러니 가지 마렴.
He actually turned it off. Wow. I did not expect that, honestly. If all else fails, I got Rodion, so we're good.
가면을 실제로 죽여.
왕의 비호를 하사한다. 그 운명은 네 운명이 아니야. 그러니 이제 와서 자유롭게 살아가지.
Yeah, probably gonna have to restart. Alright. I'm gonna bring Rodion first and foremost. Of course. Very quite frustrating. Oh, and now Yi Sang cells. I'm missing 1 coin. Oh, I'm slowly but surely lowering freaking his Grace of the Prescript. Now Furioso Crescendo is here. But I think because I've been lowering his Grace, I can clash with Ryoshu. By a miracle.
You know, now that I'm thinking it, goddamn. What is
Probably.
that?
Frickin' Don's dead, Rodion's dead, and Honglu is dead. Yeah. Skill 1 or skill 2?
You know what, guys? I'm gonna pop 5 melatonin and see how long I last.
That's not healthy, dude.
God, this is upskill PM.
Oh, Faust. God dang it, he's gonna get hit by the script because I don't have enough. I have 2 people staggered. Oh my god.
Our sub is where we killed like 3 color picks.
This stupid fucking chicken. You know what? Yeah. I blame this on you, freaking Heathcliff, so get hit by this, I don't care. He's taking so much more damage. I know I can beat this, but this bum sold. Chad, you said I have to kill this son of a bitch, don't I?
You have to kill the son of a bitch.
He's like 500 health, but every single one of my units are dying little by little. Actually, wait. No, I got this. I won. I won. After much struggling and poor decision making on my part, finally got him down. Cannot cut this off, sweetheart. This isn't something you can break off so easily. Hey, guess what? I'm gonna want you to go assassinate yourself. This is so much more easier than freaking Gregor, but it was so hard. Oh, let me lock in.
Whoa. Oh, Fink! Die! Oh, let's go, bro. And with that final slash, we see Rian's inner thoughts, being reminded of his daughter. Alright.
모래성을 부수는 게 슬프니까. 그래서 우는
Big
거야.
knocking of the sandcastles. Yeah. Such is the nature of waves. Sounded like he sang, bro.
파도는 바람이 끌어당겨줘서 모래성을 만들었어.
Only because the wind pulled them in.
그리고 이제는
And now,
바람이 미는 대로
wind is pushing them to bring the
모래성을
sandcastles
부수는
down.
것뿐이야. 그러니까 파도는
So the waves really have no
슬플
reason
필요가
to be
없는
sad.
거지.
Once upon a time, it says.
언제 행복해져?
And then we cut back to where Yoshi was a little kid, with another story unfinished, another ending saved for later, with making a promise to read them all once she's as old as him.
그래. 그럼 그때까지 매일매일 읽어주는 거야?
And this is how it started.
약속.
Okay.
파도 소리가 들리는구나.
What a beautiful shot, man.
어떻게 들리지?
How do they sound? Sadly, I think. Is this what you mean?
쓸쓸해.
Lonely. GG's, dude. Wow.
We are then met with the epilogue. Company had a lot to do post-incident. Saude left for who knows how long. Alyssa right now is recovering, probably mentally and also physically. Hohenheim, however, was the same as usual. Obviously there were many other casualties, but it's not easy to name them all. Index dude vanished, but after that, they found the golden bows inside of a red school bag.
The red school bag was recovered, bearing a name tag filled out in a child's clumsy handwriting. Aww. With the golden bow safely nestled within. Golden bows recovered.
We are back in the bus where everything started. Everything about Arayo is gone from Yoshi's mind. Who knew if she knew that she had lost something? There was no need to ask. Didn't even mind that her scabbard was a different color. Dante just asked how she's doing. How does she feel? You know? She answers usually, but a bit differently at the same time. Sinclair finds it nice, but she immediately goes back after being complimented by Sinclair. And finally, we have our last chat with Faust. Something about entanglement. Connection that transcends anything. That as long as it exists, it won't be gone forever. So as long as the scabbard remains, she will probably find her way back to her. And as long as the bus keeps going, as long as Dante keeps reviving, they'll all be seeing the same sky Dante sees every time they brings them back. They'll all be reunited with everything they lost and everything they miss.
Only daughter. Alright. Oh, the pass on. Wow. I have to say, this genuinely, I can't even speak properly, had to be one of the best experiences in my gaming life so far. To all the people in the credits, you guys knocked it out of the goddamn park. Damn, I can't even speak English properly. Overwhelmed with emotion right now. I think for now, I don't wish to say anything else. I'm just going to enjoy the outro.
After that beautiful rendition of Pass On by the voice actor of Ryoshu and Araya, we are with wherever the hell Rian is right now. She can now finally use the sword, but because of that, She is now a target of every finger, and says his final goodbye as he slaughters through many more index proxies with the massive ass gash wound on his chest. Apparently, the index wants him to recite something. A prescript, anyway. Yet another index request. I have nothing but my sorrow, and I want... Oh, he's not obeying it? But in the end, he doesn't want to. So after having a manic laugh, he kills himself with a freaking spork. Yep. And directly after that, we get into a very unfamiliar section, but apparently we are in the Gezel shaft. Or Gezel, I don't know how you say it, but Faust's Discord, basically. And we are met with many Fausts of many different, I guess, titles. A Faust called for a group meeting, essentially. In this format, because apparently something serious is going on. We learn that it is probably the work of what is called Naive Faust, which, based off the border, is our own Faust. And honestly, this whole section is better seen than spoken over, so I'm just gonna play it. It's basically a roast session. Astute and intelligent Faust. Bro, shut the fuck up. Individual who has deliberately compromised the security of Limbus HQ. That's cooked. Strictly prohibited. What? What do you mean? Precarious side. What's the new title gonna be now?
림버스 컴퍼니의 대표 디아스가 그 대답입니다.
Stupid Faust is crazy. The chief executive director of Limbus Company.
바뀐 호칭이 잘 어울리네요. 멍청한 파우스트.
We're seeing a roast session at this point. While most of this is all fun and games and it is pretty funny, we do get some very valuable information from this, which is the fact that the main CEO of Limbus Company, Diaz, was the main ringleader that started the smoke war in the current timeline we are in. And based on what happened, or what we saw more accurately from the certain Sinclair, it is very likely that he will be the ringleader yet again to start the second smoke war. And then right after that, we cut to some more important stuff to the current N-Corp crew, which is Nelly, Jia Juan, and well, the others. So Nelly is pretty much explaining to Herman about, well, what happened and also what happened after the incident. So first of all, the golden bow grafting experiments actually worked, so that means 5 more to get and a sapling will be made. The second, Sinclair has finally awakened. Although it was temporary, it probably was an incomplete awakening, and finally, Gregor's awakening, quote unquote, that we saw that happened with Valentina. Apparently, what we saw, the Roach Emperor, is even more wrappings. There's something lower than that, probably way stronger than that, which is absolutely terrifying. And apparently, that gift will actually spring into action after the sapling, happens. We also got some small info on where the frick Ahab has been for the whole time. And something else of importance, after getting some intel on some insider agents, the father, or at least familiar, of Cromer, the one that we, saw get assassinated by Demian in Console 3, are getting ready for a mass purging of clankers, pretty much. And finally, to put a bow on it, Herman says that the Malus Maleficarum's roster is almost finished. And with the freaking massive clanker hunt being a distraction, their main goal is going to be attacking every freaking mirror world in existence in freaking insane. But anyway, that talk is finished. Herman tells Nelly to keep an eye on Limbus Company for a bit longer, and then they head into the board meeting to do and discuss whatever's gonna happen next. And with that, this Kanto story is finally over. This has been the longest Kanto, I think, by far, but I think the reason it felt longer was because this was my first time actually going through it completely in one day, which was insane, but this genuinely was amazing. In my opinion, I loved every single bit of it. It was awesome, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I'm honestly super glad I was here for this moment, and genuinely can't wait for what's gonna happen next in this company. That's all from me though. I will probably make some more videos on this game, although I'm not sure on what, maybe some ID showcases and stuff like that, but I'm not sure if that's my forte, but I may dabble in it if you guys want to. I might make a poll about it later or something. This might be a really long watch depending on if I summarized everything as neatly as I could without missing details. And yeah, that's all I can say. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. See you guys.